Fellow Toastmasters, on previous occasions we've had a fire alarm go off. Some of you will remember this. First of all, we ran out there. Then we decided it wasn't a real fire, and we decided to go out that way. We got outside. I realised I left my computer and my phone here, and I waited till I was pretty sure it wasn't a fire, and I came back in to fetch it, which I shouldn't have done because there could have been a fire. Eventually the fire brigade turned up and established there was no fire and came back in. It reminded me of all the times when there is a fire and you have to be prepared. I can't remember ever having had a fire drill here, but a lot of places, including hotels and schools, they have a fire drill. In my school, I remember we used to have it every day, every week, at lunchtime on a Friday, so that if there ever was a fire, we were all prepared. And my message to you today is that you should always be prepared on every occasion. Now, there are some people who are paranoid, like me, and on any occasion, if they walk into a restaurant, they're looking around to see how they would get out in an emergency. Is there anyone else like that, or am I the only one? Looks like I'm the only one, so I have to persuade you to do what I do. Interestingly, there was an event in America where a lot of people died in a train accident, and somebody went and interviewed the people who survived and asked them why they survived. And there was a man and his family, and he said when he got in the train, he read the instructions about which window to break and get out of in an emergency and what to do. And when the train crashed, he immediately went for that window and pulled everyone else out with him. And that was what made him survive. And that is a message for you. And the phrase I would like you to remember is the one from a campaign for road safety. It goes, "The life you save may be your own." Now, I consider I'm a survivor. Recently, I was sent an email online and a connection to a website called something like "How many weeks have you got left?" And it assumes that everybody has a life expectancy of about 80 years. And it puts all the weeks of all the years across the page. And you mark on it where you are now, and you look at how many weeks you've got left. And they mark on it certain people like Amy Winehouse and Elvis Presley, a few famous people who died early, and it says, look what they achieved, but they died early. What have you achieved so far, and what do you still want to achieve in the number of weeks you've got left? It's quite chilling if you're over 50 to look at this and see that half of you have gone already. I've also been to talks given by people like Saga Holidays for the Elderly, when they talk about travel, and they say that after the age of 60, people they retire and they do their long haul travel to the Far East. They spend their money that they've been saving up, and then from the age of 70, they start taking holidays in Europe. This is for the UK. They don't go quite so far, and then from the age of 80, they start taking holidays in the UK. So somebody outside, like a travel agent, or you yourself, can look and plan, am I going to take these long-term holidays in that band of 10 years? Am I going to take these holidays in that band of 10 years? And so on. So you you've got three things to consider. But I think the most important thing is, are you actually going to survive your allotted lifespan? Now the fact, looking round, and I can see you've all survived the first 5 years, which is one of the most dangerous times. In fact, the first week is one of the most dangerous times. In fact, the moment you're born is one of the very dangerous times. And oddly enough, the longer you live, the longer you are going to live, because you've outlived all those people who bring the average down by dying earlier on. So, although your life expectancy at birth is actually going up with each year because of medical advances, your life expectancy is going up, and you've got more years to fulfill if you reach the 80 or the 90, which you think is your life expectancy. Now, I've been in some very serious situations. On one occasion I was on the M4, my car was hit in the rear, it spun around and ended up in the fast lane. And my first thought was, this is the most dangerous place to be, because a very fast car would come up and hit me. So my first thought was, I have to get out of this car. Unfortunately, the doors were jammed on the driver's side. Somebody came up and I said, I've got to get out, I've got to get out. How do I get out? He went round and he opened the passenger door and said, climb over and get out this way. So I got out. Then I said, what are you in? And he said, that lorry there. I said, can you park across this lane, because otherwise somebody is going to go into us. He ran back, he had a huge Pantechnion, and he turned it diagonally across all 3 lanes. That did 2 things. A, it blocked the fast lane, and B, anyone from miles away could see something blocking all 3 lanes and not facing forward. Because a lot of cars go into the back of something ahead, they go into the back of a parked car on the slow lane. They think it's moving and it's not. So that would alert everyone. So I was thinking all the time, how am I going to survive? Now I want you, for the rest of your life, every day, every time you're on public transport, every time you're responsible for a group, to be thinking, how am I going to survive? How is my group going to survive? Please God, you won't ever need it, but if it ever happens, I want you to be the one who is responsible and saves all the others. Wish you luck and a good life.